Welcome back to the 90 More Podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Liverpool take on Aston Villa at the Anfield in match day 4 of the Premier League. We're going to be diving into the preview, key players, starting 11s, and the team news. Of course, Virgil van Dijk is out for this one, and so is Tyrone Mings. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Let me know in the comment box below, do you think Liverpool can actually win this one? It's one where they could actually nick it late, like a Darwin Núñez winner in the 90th minute, just like they did against Newcastle. But it's one to watch. If you have some time this Sunday, watch this game. It will teach you much about the Premier League and about football in general. Two teams in good form. Aston Villa have won 2 of their last 3, and of course Liverpool have also won 2 of their last 3. They've won 2 in 2, and of course Villa have also won 2 in 2 as well. So in terms of form, both clubs have only played 3 games in the Premier League. The only, I think, outlandish fact is that Aston Villa have conceded 5 in 1 game this campaign already against Newcastle. You don't want that. If you go away to Newcastle and concede 5, when you come to stadiums like the Anfield, when you go to stadiums like the Emirates Stadium, the Old Trafford, you're a little bit susceptible and you're a little bit vulnerable. So apart from that, I think Liverpool have done well this campaign, winning 3-1 against Bournemouth, winning 2-1 against Newcastle, and also drawing that 1-1 draw with Chelsea on opening day, just to make sure they still have that, not 100% record, but they're still unbeaten in this campaign. My problem with Liverpool, and we'll talk about it later in this video, is they have conceded a goal in every 90 minutes of football they played this campaign. 1 against Bournemouth, 1 against Chelsea, and 1 against Newcastle. So they just need to stop that, as simple as that. Aston Villa on the other side, of course, they did bounce back very well, beating Everton 4-0. That was kind of a response that Unai Emery really wanted, and the team really wanted as well, and they got it. And of course, the other game, after losing to Newcastle 5-1 last weekend, they also did another win. So 2 clubs in good form, 2 clubs in high spirits. How is it going to go down? Now, in terms of the team news, Aston Villa will be getting a very big boost with Emi Martinez coming back in that, number 1 position. I think he's going to be a key player for them this campaign. It's going to be a very, very key player for them in whatever they're trying to do. Now, many people are saying Villa have to win the UEFA Conference League, which they are actually already doing well. They've already eliminated Hibernian in the playoffs, 8 on aggregate to 0. So I think they will go as further as they can in the UEFA Conference League. But Emi Martinez as a goalkeeper is going to be very, very key for them, because this campaign they have played 3 games and conceded 6 goals. That means they are conceding an average of 2 goals per 90. That is unacceptable. Of course, you've got to think about the Newcastle game where they conceded 5. Okay, but in terms of the team news, Emi Martinez is being assessed. He did train well, according to Unai Emery, and he should be back very, very soon. He will be available for selection for this game. Tyrone Mings, of course, is going to be out for a longer period of time, their captain, and I don't think they actually miss him that much, with Pau Torres and Diego Carlos in that centre-back pairing, with Ezra Konsa playing that kind of back 3. I think they should be alright. Liverpool are the ones that are not alright in the back line. Virgil van Dijk picked up that red card against Isak in the Newcastle victory, and however much people are saying it wasn't a red card, in my opinion, I just don't see how he would survive that. I just don't say it. So he will be out for 3 games, and that means that Joe Gomez could be in the starting lineup. But of course, Ibrahima Konate is also out of selection. So is Thiago Alcantara. The good news is that Curtis Jones is back, and should Jurgen Klopp decide to use him in this weekend, he will be available for him as well. So with the injury news and the team news, how would both teams actually likely set up the starting 11s? Liverpool, Alisson will be in goal. There's no question about that. He's so consistent, doesn't pick up injuries. He's one of the players that are always, they're seemingly always on the pitch, and they're kind of evergreen for Liverpool. The defense is where the problems are going to be coming in. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson will be playing in their respective positions as right back and left back, and at centre back, I think Joe Gomez and Joe Matip will be playing together. There is a problem there. When you have Matip and Gomez playing in the same team for 90 minutes against Moussa Diaby, Leon Bailey, and Watkins, if anyone decided to go for both teams to score in this game, I would definitely back them. So that is how they will actually look like at centre back. In midfield, I expect Endo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. Ryan Gravenberch comes a little bit too late for registration for this game, so we expect Endo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai in that 4-3-3. And of course, up top, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, and Mo Salah. I won't be surprised if Darwin Núñez actually starts in this game, but it might be Cody Gakpo up top. For Aston Villa, the starting 11, it won't look, very much different from last weekend. Emi Martinez might be coming back, so Emi Martinez will be in goal. Torres, Diego Carlos, and Konsa in that back three. And you actually think that is their best defensive line? If they lose one player, if they actually pick up another injury, it's going to be Clement Lenglet in the team. I don't think they actually want that. But Torres, Diego Carlos, and Konsa in the back three. They always play with a 4 in midfield. Digne, Luis, Kamara, and Cash. So I think Cash and Digne are always the wing backs. Of course, those two, Luis and Boubacar Kamara, always playing at the best of the midfield. Behind Oli Watkins as the only striker will be Joe McGinn and Moussa Diaby. Now, I won't be surprised if Leon Bailey comes back in this game, and probably Unai Emery changes things here and there, but I expect such a lineup for Aston Villa. Key players for both sides in this game. It's going to be one where everyone is going to have to work hard. It's going to be about tactics, because you look at the level of both managers, it's at the top. Jurgen Klopp is a high-quality manager, top manager, and of course, Unai Emery is a top manager as well. But for key players for Liverpool, I think Darwin Núñez is going to be a key player. We saw it against Newcastle. He's one of those players where you can bring him onto the pitch and create a difference. It's one of the things I love about him. He's got the pace, he's got the energy, aerial prowess, and he can finish as well. We saw it against Newcastle. He didn't take as many chances as he used to last campaign to get 2 goals. And what I think Jurgen Klopp will be loving about this, he will be having a warrior. He will be having a number 9 that can just come onto the pitch and create a difference, and he will be as reliable as Diogo Jota. So he's going to be a key player, especially if Liverpool find themselves at 1-1 or 2-2 later in this game. He will be a key player for them just to change it around. But of course, Luis Diaz is another key player for them. He holds the width very well, runs a lot, and creates a lot of chances for them. With Mo Salah looking like he's coming down in terms of pace and in terms of impact on games, Luis Diaz is a key player for Liverpool. There's no question about that. The other 3 players I've gone, I usually select 5 players as key players. I've selected the midfield for Liverpool, and this is the reason. Endo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai are going to be very key if Liverpool are going to win this game. The reason, you look at Kamara, you look at Diaz, you look at Douglas Luiz, you look at McGinn, and that is a real midfield, guys. That is a real midfield. But then also they've got the ability to run and overrun your midfield by forming triangles and overloads in players like Moussa Diaby and Oli Watkins dropping deep. So if Liverpool are going to have anything in this game, the key players are going to be those 3 midfielders. Can they protect the back line? Because you don't have Virgil van Dijk and you don't have Konate as well. But then can they also do something going forward, create the chances, as well as being mindful that at their back, they don't have a strong defensive line. For Aston Villa, the key players are going to be Oli Watkins. When you go to the Old Trafford or to the Anfield, this time Villa will be at the Anfield. You've got to take your chances. They will create chances. They do create chances. And hence they have scored 8 goals in 3 games this campaign. But can they take their chances? That's the big question. Anfield is a different environment from Goodson Park. Anfield is a very different environment from going to Bournemouth. It's a very different environment. They will shut you down. Their fans will shut you down, and you will quake under pressure. But when you get those few chances coming in, a player like Oli Watkins is gonna be very key for you to take the chances. Of course, the other players are Douglas Luiz, Kamara, and Diaby, and Pau Torres as well. I've gone with Pau Torres because Villa will be looking to play out from the back, and is one of the players that actually have got that ability just to facilitate the team to play out from the back. The midfield is also going to be very key because that's where the chance is going to be coming from. Of course, they do have that kind of elite width in Moussa Diaby and Leon Bailey, but I think Liverpool are very, very clever, and Jurgen Klopp is very clever. So for you to beat them, you've got to take that extra initiative. Try to play in a different way from what you've been playing as, and that might mean playing through the midfield. So Douglas Luiz and Kamara are going to be very key, and also in stopping Dominic Szoboszlai. He's becoming a problem already for us in the Premier League. So the strength and weaknesses for these sides, if you're going to watch this game, Liverpool, they do have that elite attack. Salah, Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota. It's elite, and they do score the goals. They do create the chances. Dominic Szoboszlai joining them as well. It's a catastrophe. It's a big, big problem. So with Aston Villa, their first responsibility away from home is going to be discipline defensively. If you conceded 6 in 3, in this game you might actually concede 3 in 1. So they've got to be very, very careful, because Liverpool do have that viral elite attack. Of course, the weakness for Liverpool in this one is they don't have Konate and Virgil van Dijk, their best centre-back pairing. I think it will affect them. It will really affect them in the confidence going forward, in the way they will want to be a little bit conservative and preservative, just to make sure that they don't concede as many, but also don't leave that space between the midfield and the defense, just to make sure they protect it. So maybe Aston Villa could exploit that. For Aston Villa, the weakness and the strength for them is the transition. Moussa Diaby and Leon Bailey, plus Oli Watkins, obviously. That is a very deadly team on the transition. Like, you know, Erik ten Hag saying that he wants to make Man United the most dangerous team on the transition in the Premier League. We already have one, and that team is Aston Villa. So when they get you on the break, they have 3 players that have the ability to make a good pass, beat a player 1v1, and even, you know, find the back of the net. Moussa Diaby has already scored this season. Leon Bailey has already scored this season. And I should be corrected, but Watkins, if he has not scored this campaign, he should be on the score sheet this weekend. So that is their problem. That is their threat as Aston Villa. They are very good on the transition. They will run and they will score. The problem with them, you know, Aston Villa this campaign, for me, is conceding goals. You cannot concede 5 against Newcastle. You just can't. Yes, Newcastle are good, Newcastle are elite, but conceding 5 against Newcastle just puts you in a different kind of bracket. It puts you in that Luton bracket, that Sheffield United bracket, because those are the teams I expect to be conceding 5 against Newcastle, right? So they need to make sure they close the gap. Diego Carlos and Ezra Costa should be doing very well at centre-back, as Pau Torres, of course, becomes that ball-playing centre-back. So the analysis for me in this one, guys, I'm going to say Liverpool will have possession up to around 49%. And the rest of the other possession will be to Aston Villa. I think Liverpool will be a little bit cautious. It won't be a high-scoring game, but we will see quality moments, right? It's one where we might see Liverpool-Chelsea at the beginning of the season come back. That game where it's open, right? Both clubs are kind of cautious, but despite the fact that they're cautious, it is open. Chances are flowing here and there, and we might see a few offsides as well. We might see a few goals going in here and there. Now, initially, I thought I would say it's a high-scoring game. And I think it has the ability to be a high-scoring game, given the quality of forwards, given the quality of both attacks. But I'm going to go 3-2. I'm going to go 3-2 in favor of Aston Villa. Hear me out, right? I think Villa will win this game. I think Liverpool will lead. Villa will equalize. Villa will find a second, and Liverpool will find a second as well, an equalizer, and Villa will win it late. The reason why I've backed Villa is the absence of Virgil van Dijk and Konate. I don't trust that defense. I just don't. And more so, I don't trust Endo to protect that back line. So I think the way Liverpool just didn't get another defensive midfielder baffles me. it just baffles me. But I mean, it is Liverpool and it is Jurgen Klopp. So 3-2 for Aston Villa is my prediction. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. And of course, watch out for that preview that we will be uploading very soon. Arsenal Man United, the big one for the weekend.